Hi everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts, ARNE CARLOS, and today we bring you yet another episode that we recorded during our road trip to Lofoten in northern Norway. We're here in the land of the midnight sun, and the weather is absolutely beautiful today.
It's very warm.
It's nice and warm and nice and toasty. So let's see how long we can actually hang out
in the sun?
In the sun.
Yeah.
We're actually north of the Arctic Circle, as I said, the land of the midnight sun. And as you can see, there is also summer here in this part of the world, which is great.
Yeah.
So Arne, today we have a tutorial for our viewers.
Yeah, we have, because we brought a pair of socks that we're mending, and
they're not just any socks.
No, they're not any socks. This is a pair of socks that we got from my mother many years ago. It's bought in a shop somewhere. It's machine made because there are elastic in the rib. But it's so worn out. There's like so many holes.
Yeah, and these socks...
And I really don't want to do the normal mending. Darning. Yeah, and these socks, they have, I suppose, a lot of sentimental value because your mother is no longer with us. No, so you have to,
unfortunately.
You have to keep them.
So yeah, you don't want to throw them away, and they remind you of her. So if you don't want to darn them, what are you going to do with them? Actually,
what I chose to do with this one is that we cut off the foot, and the foot the yarn from the foot we can use for stuffing for like Christmas balls or birds or anything. And then I found a yarn that is almost the same thickness. It's not so white as the sock, but that is no problem. And then I picked up stitches from after the rib, and I made a new foot on the sock. Oh, okay. So instead of doing all the darning, I changed the whole foot.
And considering the size of those holes, if you're going to do the darning, it's going to take a long time. So you might as well knit a new foot, I guess.
I think that's easier.
Yeah, actually. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And then what I also do is I add this extra yarn of merino.
The thin one, yes.
The thin one. And we use this to make the sock and the toe stronger.
Yeah, a reinforcement heel.
Yeah, and this is actually for the folk costumes in Norway. We use this when we make the socks for our folk costume. So this is a very good thing. If you don't use the sock yarn, you should use the extra yarn and put that together with the other yarn.
Yeah, so I guess you could call this our sentimental socks.
That's a sentimental sock.
So it still has, even if the whole sock is no longer intact, it still has a part of the sock that was purchased by your mother.
Yes.
And that gives it value, and of course you don't want to throw that away.
No,
so even if half the sock is new, you still have that part
the
that
original
is
rib
close to your heart.
Yes. And also brought this book. It's something we found in our bookshelves. It's a book about how to mend your clothes. It's for sewing and knitting, and it's from 1953.
Yeah.
And in this book there are different techniques for
darning,
and if anybody likes to see these old ways of darning, we can always do that another time. Yeah. But now we're changing the whole foot.
But on the matter of darning, I mean, we're not doing much darning, are we?
Not much, actually.
No. So, and you know what? There's a lot of great people out there that do amazing things when it comes to darning. And we thought this was a great opportunity to maybe talk about a very good friend of ours who we've known for, I don't know, 15 years. We used to be together, we used to spend a lot of time with her in Paris during the trade shows when we both were in the fashion industry.
We were in the same showroom.
Yeah, we did the same showroom. At that time, we were both doing our knitwear. She was doing her knitwear inspired from the Shetland Islands. We were doing our Norwegian inspired knitwear, and we were both selling to the same store. So we were kind of competitors, but still not, and we're good friends. And nowadays she does a lot of darning. Her name is Hikaru Noguchi, and she's from Japan. So Hikaru, Hikaru, and then Noguchi, Noguchi. We're going to put her Instagram account in our comments field below so that you can go there and follow her. She does amazing work when it comes to darning, and she's done quite a few books, and she does the cutest little darning tools. Actually, she gave us...
Yeah, if you see in our dollhouse videos, There's a mushroom in the
A darning mushroom.
a dollhouse. It's like a red mushroom with dots, white dots, I
Yeah.
think it was. And that's a gift from her.
But you know, the other day I was looking at her Instagram account, and now she has the cutest little darning mouse.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
so cute.
So anyway, Hikaru Noguchi, and Hikaru, if you're watching this, I hope everything's okay in Japan, and hope you keep doing your darning because it's beautiful.
And maybe see you soon.
Yeah. Okay, but
Yeah,
let's.
okay. Let's. Oh, and we have news for you. We have a new scissor. I didn't dare to take out my old one, and not the good one for fabric, because then people say we shouldn't use that for thread.
Yeah, the good
or
one
yarn.
for fabric is at home, and this is a good one for the road, I guess.
So
And
now
the-
this is for yarn.
Yeah, and the good thing about traveling by car is that we didn't, have to think about security checkups and
So
stuff at
let's-
the airport.
What you call it when you open it in English? You
Unbox.
unbox it. And we will do this with a new scissor. Ta-da!
Now you were talking about this thread. We are using pure wool, a wool thread to reinforce the heel. You can also use nylon if you like.
Yeah, I remember when I grew up, there was nylon you bought in the
Yeah.
yarn shops, but I think this is nicer actually.
It's nicer, and by using a pure wool thread, you're actually keeping your product that you make 100% natural. And natural fibers are something that we enjoy more than man-made. So it makes kind of sense to do it with this.
So now I'm going to be brutal. So when I fix a sock like this, I just cut off.
You're not fixing, you're making a sentimental
Well,
sock.
I'm making a
It's kind of
sentimental sock.
because that's gone.
I just cut off this. This one we can cut and wind up on anything, and we can card it and use it for stuffing.
I guess I could start winding this
You
up.
can wind that up, and then I just start to pick up the stitches. So I pick up the stitches just after the rib, like this. And on this sock, they made a short row heel. But when I darn it, oh, sorry, that's the wrong line. I choose to use the heel flap.
Does
Is that what you call it?
yeah, the heel flap. So can I ask you why? Is there a particular reason why you rather do the heel
It's
flap?
because we've been working on socks for our folk costumes.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was so into the heel flap sock that I couldn't stop it.
Okay, so there's no other reason than the fact that that's the one you chose.
That's the one I chose.
Okay, I see.
There's no special reason. So on this one I just picked up the stitches below the rib, and then I knit 4 rounds. Then it looks almost like the old one. And then when you made those 4 rounds, you start the heel flap. And when you work with that merino, what you call that, förstärkning?
The reinforcement thread?
The reinforcement thread. You start using that when you start on the heel flap. So you knit the whole heel flap, you knit the turning of the heel, and then you take out the reinforcement yarn. And then you just finish the sock all the way up to the toe, and when you start the decreasing on the toe, that's when you put the yarn, the reinforcement yarn in again.
This is actually, there's holes in it. I don't understand why, because this is really tightly knit.
Well,
It's quite difficult to unravel.
but we've been walking on wooden floors
years.
for years, and then that happens.
So we're going to have to think about a great title for this particular tutorial, because this is not a repairing tutorial. We're making a sentimental sock.
Sentimental sock.
We're using a piece from a sock that means something to you. It's not actually a repair because,
It's a mending.
because you've got the whole, you've got half the yarn here that you're not going to use anyway.
Yeah. So, and now when you have that on the needle, it's time to pick out the leftover yarn.
Good luck with that.
Because it's knitted from the top down, and now you're gonna. No, it's knitted. I think it's knitted from the bottom up, because that's why it's so hard to
Unravel.
take it out. I think.
Who knows?
Who knows? And it doesn't matter in the end because you're going to make a new one anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Cut off to make it quicker.
I'm just going to give up with this because it's just not working.
So this goes for the bird or the ball.
No, don't give it to the birds. You know, it's actually dangerous.
No, the knitted birds for stuffing.
Oh yeah, our knitted birds put this as stuffing for the knitted birds, but don't put this out to make for the birds to make bird nests because they actually choke on this and die. It is actually not recommended that you put out yarn and things for bird nests. A lot of birds died that way. We heard, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so now I have taken out all the things I want to get rid of, and the stitches are more or less on the needle.
So those are the old stitches.
This is the old stitches. And then I found this yarn in our stash. I think it's the Norwegian yarn. It's very coarse.
It's Vilje, I think.
Maybe it's Vilje from Hillesvåg.
The lamb's wool, beautiful yarn. Yeah, it is. It's nice and soft.
So then I just start knitting. I just decide that, let's make this into the corner.
Doesn't matter,
doesn't matter. And then when you knit this, you have to check that you have every stitch. So you just knit around like this. And if I remember correctly from the other one, I think there should be 12 stitches on each needle. So we like to divide stitches so you have like
even numbers.
Even number if you can.
That are divisible by 4 because we're working with 4 needles.
So 3, 6, 9, 10.
Now Arne, while you do that, let's talk about...
You can talk about that.
Let's talk about this because we went shopping today. We went to Lofot wool. And Lofoten wool is a small little, local business here. They have their own sheep, the cutest sheep in the world.
And they're happy.
Yeah, I loved Freya and Vega, the two lady sheep, or the girls, the young girls. They were so adorable.
They were so cute.
And and they make lovely yarn that they dye themselves. And these are not dyed; these are natural colors.
Yeah.
But I love the name. So the name is Sørveggen, the name of this yarn, by Lofoten wool. And Sørveggen means the southern wall.
And you know what, Carlos?
I think we might be sitting in a southern wall
I think
ourselves.
we're sitting in the southern wall right now.
And Sørveggen is something very important in Norway because that's the wall where you always get the sun if the sun is out. So even if it's cooler, it'll still be nice and warm there.
And it also loses the color. That's why it's
and then the color fades away, as you can see. I'm going to put this here, as you can see on the label. So yeah, fabulous yarn, very soft and a little bit coarse, but still quite soft. It's nice.
I think it's not. She told us that it gets softer when you wash it, and on the label it's also said, "Be careful." But it's like.
Husk alltid ullvask.
Yeah, remember wool wash.
Yeah. And Arne bought these for us so that we can make our own socks. So they're going to be similar to what you're doing there.
Yes.
And you also bought the yarn for the reinforcement of the heel. So this one is also 100% wool. Yeah, it's quite lovely. And the color, I like the color. It's natural. It's very nice.
I think it's really nice. I like the natural colors. It's really nice. And then another good thing is that we actually met all the sheep. So
yeah, we met the sheep.
We know these.
We got to know them very well.
What was that?
It sounded like
my needle.
Do you need it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Do I need it? Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I will show you a little bit more and then.
But you're not going to do a tutorial on the heel flap.
I'm not doing the, no.
Because we've done that already. I think we did that last year. We did a tutorial on a heel flap and a reinforced heel. Now that is a particular heel that is an eye of the partridge.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the possibility to get a lovely little woolen thread to add to the heel to make it reinforced, you could always just make the eye of partridge heel. And I always get this wrong, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, the link can actually pop up above your head right now, so that you can go and have a look at the heel flap tutorial, adding the reinforced heel with the eye of partridge. Or if you get this, just add this when you knit the heel. You only add this for the heel, right? You don't do the whole sock.
The toe.
And the toe, yeah, obviously. The heel and the toe, but not the whole
Not
sock.
the whole thing, no.
It's nice.
So, then 3, 6, 9.
And I was just trying to pull this. It is actually not strong when you have it this way, but when it goes in, it is.
It is quite strong when you put it in the...
When it's finally knitted in
the sock. So, so let me show you. Like now, when you have all the stitches on the needles, then you do the heel. You knit a few rounds, and then when you do the heel flap, that's when you add this yarn. And then for this one, I should have 12 on each, and then when I start with the heel flap, I just start knitting back. I slip the first one, and then it says slip purlwise. No, yeah, purlwise. Slip.
And that's when you start adding.
And then you add this yarn, like that. And then when you knit the flap, you knit with both
Very
ends.
nice.
So the heel will be quite strong compared to the other stockinette. So that's all you need to do to have a really nice heel.
So how long do you think those socks will last now that you've added the reinforced thread on the heel and then eventually?
Well, I don't know. They will last longer because we have so many socks right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I can show you on this one. So you can't see it on camera, but you can feel it when you touch it. You feel that this flap and the turning has the reinforced.
Let me feel.
Yarn. Maybe you can see it on the collar.
I can describe this to our...
And then on the toe, it's the same.
Yeah, here, where the reinforced thread is, the yarn is actually a little bit coarser. Here it's a little bit softer.
Yeah. And the yarn is a little bit coarse, so you see it's a little bit bulky when it's new, but as soon as you wash it, it bounces out and then it looks perfect.
A lot of people ask us as well, how would we wash these? So there's a couple of different ways to do it, depending on how careful you are with your socks. I mean, the best way to do it is get a nice detergent or a cleaner, or detergent that is aimed at wool and silk detergent. And then a nice little, I don't know, a nice little basin or something where
you can do
container
it in
where you can fill, or the kitchen sink, and you just fill that with nice and lukewarm water, I would say. Add a little bit of the detergent, and then just soak these for a little while, and then rinse them nicely afterwards. That's pretty much the best way to do it. Norway.
In Norway, you can put it in the washing machine.
In Norway, we're lucky enough to have a very special wool program, which is wool. I mean, a wool program for wool, which is called wool. The wool program.
It's called
and
wool.
It's funny because in these wraps, it actually says "Husk alltid ullvask," and that means remember always wool program. So we know that they can be put in the washing machine, in a Norwegian washing machine with our special wool program that will gently move it's like a cradle. It moves back and forth with a lot of water, and there's not much of the spinning cycle. It's not very strong. So when they come out, they're quite wet, but that's because wool is also absorbs a lot of water. And then when it dries, it kind of gets back to what it was.
So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish this one in the sunset. No, there's no sunset
There's no sunset here.
No.
We're going to finish this in the midnight sun.
In the midnight sun. And then I bought yarn for 2 pairs of socks. So you
one
will
for
also
me
have
and
one
one for
pair.
you.
Maybe that's your Christmas gift.
Oh, so you bought me yarn so that I can make my own Christmas gift. Smart.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. I'm not going to finish this one on camera.
So anyway, a great idea if there is something very sentimental, like a pair of socks that you don't want to throw away but that are unwearable. If you don't want to darn them, you can do what we did. If you want to darn them, we highly recommend you to go and check out Hikaru's Instagram and follow her. And she does a lot of lives.
Yeah.
She does a lot of Instagram lives where she does tutorials and shows a lot of great things.
And keep this for your
Knitted birds.
birds or balls or dolls for stuffing.
Okay.
Okay.
So how about some formalities?
Yeah, that's the one I'm so good at, and that is like if you like a video, you put your thumbs up, and if you put on your notification, I said it right,
Yeah.
notification.
You didn't say notifications today.
Notifications, you will get a message every time there's a new video.
So that you never miss a single episode.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was supposed to say.
Well, how about the subscriber part?
Oh yeah, and then subscribe, because
It's fun.
it's fun. The sun is so strong.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been a kind of a sentimental sock tutorial where we talked a little bit about reinforced threads, where we talked a little bit about washing, and where we are going to continue knitting on our sentimental sock. I'm going to cast on, and I'm going to start my new Lofoten socks with Sørveggen, this great yarn.
And this is messages for me.
Okay. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Join us every day in December when Sit and Knit for a Bit becomes our daily Christmas podcast.
We're looking forward to revealing one ball every single day. And if you want to join us, there is going to be a digital ARNE CARLOS Christmas calendar with our 24 new balls. All you need to do is go to arnecarlos.com, go to our shop, and you can purchase the calendar, and it will be available from November 22nd and onward. That's when it's going to open, the sales. You will be able to knit some of the balls in advance if you feel a time constraint. We're really looking forward, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Are we going to make more balls?
Well, you can't have enough balls, can you?
Well, can you? No, not really.